G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
G2 sees the first map victory of the series. It's going to be the French to take the first map Overpass, and Seized struggles to seize some frags. In fact, just 8 for him over the course of an overtime loss. It's hard to watch, and the scoreboard does tell somewhat of the story. These guys to my left will be telling the rest of it. YNK, Sponge.
Are you these or guys?
These.
Okay, I'll be guys.
I feel like this game wasn't as close as the score tells. Now, that's going to sound funny because we went into overtime, but I really feel like, for example, in the first half, what was going on for Na'Vi, yes, they win pistol, they lose the first gun round, then Simple gets 2 entry kills with the AWP, they reset G2, you know, they're forced into 4/eco and so on. So Na'Vi was winning some crucial rounds, mostly because of Simple. In those rounds, yes, he had a lot of frags, but most of them have been in those high impactful rounds. And then when you switch into the second half, there was nothing from Na'Vi.
Yeah, and you did mention Seized only having 8 kills over the course of the game. 5 of them were in the first half, which they won 11-4.
Just slowly. This is this is the reset round. So he gets boosted, and then what does he do? I'm just gonna jump towards short and like try to find an extra kill. That tells me Simple's attitude is like, I can't count on my team to do anything. I have to do everything by myself.
That's kind of the way that it's been for this team, you know, ever since they've been having issues. It's just Simple, the one who's getting it done. But he actually had Edward and Flamey show up and put some score up there for him to help him out. And then Zeus was also contributing. And sure, you know, we can be super harsh on Seas and stuff. And, you know, I don't normally like criticizing a player if they do really badly, right? Because I think, you know, it's a team game. But when it is Simple, just trying to... I just think, you know, there's more factors to it. But when Caesar's getting 5 kills in the first half when they win 11-4, off the hook for that, you know, because Simple's getting all the kills, he's finding all the frags. But then you go over to the second half where they only needed 5 rounds. He only got 2 kills on the second half and then 1 kill in overtime. So he just wasn't finding anything.
But like, just get into his shoes for a moment. We've all been there, but also that's 15 rounds of play where you've only killed someone twice. Like, that must be just so demoralizing for Seas.
I think the main problem is, for one, Seas is not a player who's going to run around and get crazy kills. Like, he's just not that type of player, especially not in this roster.
Sure.
The other thing is, that's what I was referencing. Like, we saw nothing from Na'Vi. In their default, they were like, yeah, slowly take map control. But then when they had to execute, they either didn't have enough utility or they didn't use properly. They just tried to run into the bomb site. And against a team like G2, who is very skilled, just in general against any team, you're going to have a tough time doing that on a map like Overpass.
Yeah, and there's no one else on the Na'Vi roster who can play the same brand of Counter-Strike as Simple. And when I say that, it's not about getting kills or, you know, playing within structure. Simple can play whatever you need him to play. But the only way that this team is working, or, sorry, winning rounds, not working, is him doing a lot of work, right? And no one else can play loose in that team. No, who else in that team, you know, can play a loose style of Counter-Strike, run around and get headshots? Maybe Flamey.
Flamey?
Maybe.
If they let him off the leash.
But he likes to play a passive style, especially on that CT side, right? Like, he's really good at being a turret and an anchor.
Except when he makes a 2v3 into a 2v1 and then hunts for the last kill and dies.
Those happen too.
That's where he left Seas in a 1v1 and Seas actually managed to win the round. So out of the 8 kills, that one at least was high impact.
Yeah. But either way, Alex, this isn't good enough for G2.
The result isn't good enough for G2?
No, they only get 2 points here.
I think it's fine considering how many crucial rounds they lost, right? If G2 just, for example, is managed to win 2 consecutive rounds in the first half and forces Na'Vi into a low economy situation, I feel they can easily run away with that half. I feel they played much better Counter-Strike than Na'Vi did. Put it this way, I feel like the rounds that G2 was winning were much more convincing than the ones Na'Vi was.
I mean, mirrored 11-4 halves. It's kind of, I mean, though it's hindered because of the fact you lose a point by being an overtime victory, the fact that they were 11-4 down, Chad, and came back and did eventually finished it, I mean, I don't think G2 are complaining.
This is something that we need to talk about with a map like Overpass, right? Normally you'd be expecting 11-4s, 10-5s. That's what the scoreline should be on those halves, right? That's what the CTs do have the advantage on this map unless they lose control of the economy. And the Ts, you know, if they get pistol round, maybe they can get up to 6 or 7. Sure. But without pistol rounds, you're looking at a 4 or 5, right? That's how it kind of pans out. I think that's statistically speaking what you see, unless you got these close games that are brawls. And that's not what we saw here. We saw teams with very good CT halves. They were standing up, they were getting the kills they needed to, and shutting them out. It's just that I think we just expect games, you know, that are more back and forth, considering the force buys and all kind of stuff we see. But this game was just clear cut, I guess, in the sense of 2 teams with 2 really good CT halves.
Yeah, and that was picked up in the end by the French. The question then starts to become, do we get to split the series? Na'Vi have been in dire need of a win. In fact, so are G2. Both of these teams, in case you have just joined us, are at the very bottom of the 14-team table. And a 2-0 here is kind of where you can catalyze into something mid-table, start getting away from that danger zone.
Absolutely, considering the second map is Nuke. I feel like G2 is much more favored on this particular map. When we saw Na'Vi play it last time, they couldn't even hit the smokes on yard. The smokes had gaps. That's like if you even consider playing this map, that's the one thing you need to know how to hit 10 times out of 10, is how to throw those smokes on yard so it doesn't have a gap so you can make your way down secret. So really, I don't have a lot of confidence in Na'Vi in this map.
Draken couldn't believe his luck in that game. It was literally just a pure gap. And if anything, he wasn't actually firing a lot of shots, but it's just information that you have no idea that they know, almost. Like, you don't know that there's a 3 secret.
We don't know that we know that they know that you know where they're at.
That's what I was going for.
I think they would have fixed that since last time. I'm sure they would have identified that and gone, hey guys, we died a lot crossing. Or they knew we were coming a lot of the time. When what this is meant to do is be a bit of a wall of information.
Okay. I think a lot of my seeds of doubt for Na'Vi's chances on Nuke are actually sown by one player's presence. Kenny S holding yard seems to be something that he's very proficient in, and something that he's always been very scary on that CT side.
Yeah, absolutely, and just it adds to G2 simply having more ways to win the game. On top of what they already have in terms of team play, in terms of some strategies, they also have great individual players that can definitely match up against. Simple is probably the one in the highest form at the moment, but the rest of his team is no match for the rest of the G2 team.
Can I say something positive about Na'Vi?
I'd love that.
The fact that they're trying to bring Nuke into their map pool.
Because this is a veto. The
way
the
really
veto
like
process.
reaching here, Chad.
Well, someone's got to do it, right? Right now, this team, they always have had 2 bans. It's always been Cache and Nuke, right? Especially since the reintroduction of Nuke and the maps that they just don't touch.
Sure.
They don't want to play Cache for whatever reason. I don't understand why. They don't want to play that map. I think they would be really good at it with the players that they have. They have good mid-round decision-making. That's something they can look towards. But at least they're trying to bring Nuke into the map pool, which is good for the future of this team, in theory.
So I like
if
that.
This team has a future.
Yes.
Let's explore the Cache thing quickly, because I've always found this very intriguing, as you've just mentioned. For the uninitiated, Na'Vi have always, under every different iteration and every different coach, every different player that's worn the jersey, it's an insta-ban Cache.
They played it one time because they forgot to do their vetoes.
Yes, and they trolled the hell out of that game.
Yeah.
Now, just think about it for a second. If you wanted to add Cache to your map pool now, you have got probably 4 or 5 players that haven't played professional competitive Cache in years. Like, that's just so crazy to me that these players, because, I mean, they haven't been on other teams. Edward hasn't been on another team for forever. Imagine him trying to play Cache. He's like, bloody hell, what is that smoke again? Like, he just hasn't played it.
I mean, you have Flamey Edward at C's, right? Zeus played it with Gambit, although Adren was doing more of the calling, and Simple also has played it in Liquid, for example, and so forth. But I believe even with them not playing it within a team and in official games, as long as you play the map and you know the map, it's about, it's different when you play a proper team. You need to learn the timings a bit and what they can do against you. But that's something that you can iron out in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, and I want to go ahead and iron out who's going to take this one. Give me a team name, Chad.
G2.
G2?
G2.
The map and the players do seem to be pointing in one direction. Let's see what our casters have to say. Henry G and Sadakist, do we get to see G2 rock the nuke?
Rock the nuke! I think Kim Jong will, if they don't.
Bloody hell. No politics map.
Well, that's just factual. But it's G2 Na'Vi, and it is on a map that I've come to like. I know a lot of people don't, but I think it holds some excitement at times. I still think there's more to explore, but I think that there's probably things that could be still fixed on it as well.
We'll see what happens. G2, always been one of my favorite maps. Wow, one of my favorite teams on this map, I should say. Kenny S in particular somehow makes the AWP work on this CT side like no one else can. I don't think Na'Vi will have what it takes to take them down, but hopefully it will be at least a competitive game. Simple, with the Deagle, of course, in the pistol round. That's a bit of a strange one on Nuke. He goes towards maybe Squeaky Door outside and tries to find the first shot. I'll be interested to see what he can do with that. It is outside indeed. Red Deagle in hand.
Simple, trying to get the shots at far range. Can't quite do so. Instead, though, Edward does get one back. However, it's not before they've lost many men. Still find yourselves equal situation. Shocks got a shot on Edward. It's from above that he also gets Flamey on a similar position. And MBK closes it out. So G2 start off with the first round on a CT side.
Deagle doesn't really do much at all there. Going towards outside, dueling the USPs at that sort of range, and they've got that one-tap potential as well. It's a very difficult fight to win. You have to be extremely accurate with your first bullet after Desert Eagle. Doesn't really work out for them, and G2 start the campaign here on Nuke successfully. They get 3 weapons out in terms of the rifles, 3 of those, and M4 as well for Shoxy. So quite a rifle-centric purchase here, and a full eco from Na'Vi map. With no bomb going down, they're going to be bringing out Galils, I think, in the next round. They've got a bit of a surprise play coming in. At least that's what I could work out right now. There's no reason to not buy anything.
There's really not. And there's no plan.
They can buy 2 AK set armor and 3 Galils. They could do that. There it is. They're doing it.
This is interesting.
G2 used to do this. They haven't really so much. About 6 months ago, they were experimenting with this idea. It was a Starlighter event. I saw them do it.
Was that when they dominated the groups and then went out in the quarters?
Yeah,
that's
right. That's
right.
how they dominated the groups. They were on the T side of Inferno, for example. They did exactly this. They'd lose without getting the bomb down, full eco in the second, then buy up AKs in the third. It's actually quite an interesting idea if you think about it. No one really does it though. It's actually quite cool. Nice variation of the economy game, but Shoxy, he's not buying it. But Edward does take him down in return. It's going to be a 4-on-3 now in favour of Na'Vi. Sees with the second shot, but Kenny S fighting back with that Famas. Should get a double here. No head armor on Simple. He'll be dropped. 3-on-2 as they find an M4. That's Kenny S upgrading his weapon.
Upgrading. Flamey with bomb down is going to try and recover it, but has to be very careful and tread lightly in doing so with Kenny S to his right. Kenny's shots indicate he's close and that he does not have an idea, in fact, that he is there. So, in doing so, he finds a kill, gets the bomb, and brings it back to a 1 versus 2. Both players on G2 stacked up in Heaven together. They're going to peek together, I would expect, as well. But they peek away from Heaven outside at the exact time Flamey goes there, and peek inside at the exact time he is not. So good timing on Flamey's part.
2-on-1. Here we go, then. Simple trying to do what he can. Or Flamey, I should say. That would make more sense. I'm sure Simple is as well. 2-on-1. Flamey does get the bomb down here. Well cut out for him, though. MBK with the defuse kit and a Galil. Flamey going to be very well versed in these sort of clutch situations. Finds the first headshot, and now he has the advantage. Body with no kit, and only the Famas going for a map. Is it the fake?
He's opened the door, body off of it, and immediately onto the target. No kit, lots of time.
Oh, is that?
If he can find the bomb inside of the smoke, he's got it.
It'll still be fine. So when he can find the bomb there, I thought it was a little bit closer.
That would have been amazing if he got off the bomb on purpose to go look for utility and then missed it in the smoke by like a second.
Well, that was the force buy from Na'Vi. An interesting one. Comes down to the 1v1. Certainly viable. And they could buy up in this round again. They got to do it. They got it down to a 1v1. They know the money's not going to be amazing. It's an MP9 for Apex. You might be thinking, Matt, I've got a chance to spray down some
I was thinking that, actually.
Players. Yeah.
I was thinking it. No, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Good.
I had to patronize.
CZ, couple of UMPs, couple of AKs as well. And here come the smokes towards outside. Not deploying them just yet. A lot of teams actually opting to throw from T-Spawn now instead of the railings or the fence like we usually do. We'll be throwing them straight away though. So this is a ballsy call from Na'Vi. Maybe if Apex overextends with the SMG, something could happen here. But it's still a versatile weapon on a map like Nuke.
Shot out from Simple, works against Apex. Shocks. Might have this timed perfectly to get behind Na'Vi. They aren't even going to consider it. There's no way they look back. Bomb is in the last player as well. At Edward, excuse me. I was about to say seized. And it'll be found and downed, but he only gets the 1. Because he was a little bit slow getting there, so Flamey's able to recover the bomb and hold position on the stairwell. Simple, meanwhile, takes out Kenny upstairs. Now, does that mean that Flamey can get back to the fence and climb the ladder? Because if he can, there's only one more to find in the upper site. Zeus, however, can wrap around and clear lower. It's options for Na'Vi, just depending on timing and who finds the kills. Shox is still contesting at the stairwell. That's a kill they needed, and Seized has gone to a knife because he ran out of ammo, and thankfully Flamey's there to save the day.
Well, 2-on-2. Oh, Simple, you've got to hit those. Just about survives. Time ticking away with the bomb planted, and now starting to hit some shots. And there will be a 2-on-2. Now, Flamey managing to win the round very quickly. Simple with 3 kills, Flamey with 2. It was the force buy That was another audacious play, but it did work out for Na'Vi. Just about. Still money available for G2, but this will be a force in itself. Body can drop an AWP for Kenny S, who did get caught out of position there, dropped down off the hut, try to open things up. Like I said, he has a very unique play style on Nuke. He likes to get in the hut, he likes to open the squeaky door and get in their faces, but they will not be bringing out that weapon. He actually opts to drop Famises, MP9s, and a couple of CZs to work with here as well, knowing they can shut down the economy of Na'Vi right here. Apex spraying through, hoping that was a upper rush. Didn't work out for him. It's simple. Heads towards outside with Seized and Co. Quite a quick round here for Na'Vi. Knowing the orb's not really a possibility. There's Kenny Esto behind that air conditioning unit.
The air conditioning unit is, I think, still overpowered in many ways. It's so hard to clear. And Kenny, if he peeks between it, backs off a step, he'll be able to get a headshot toward the corner of the catwalk. If he stays where he is, sees his further. Again, I call Edward sees. I don't know why I'm doing this. He could walk directly into the crosshair and have no idea.
So looking good from Kenny. And there's the kill. Almost looked away. He might even get a double here. Not quite. Seeds finds some form. MBK punishes him, though, with the CZ75. They still had the man advantage in this difficult force situation for the G2 side. 4-on-1, and MBK now trying to do what he can. If he hits Simple, that could be the round, but not meant to be just yet. Simple with a double kill. Now it's going to be a difficult situation as Shoxy with the MP9 as Simple completely eradicates his opposition in the upper bomb side.
Shox, meanwhile, gonna head back toward this upper site with the MP9 and no kit. Thankfully, he's got an M4 picked up, silenced again, and Zeus is ready for his arrival.
He is indeed. Takes him down, ready and waiting. And that should be the eco now, and a chance for Na'Vi to tie things up. 3 AKs out, and they might just get MAC-10s to work with them. We'll have a look. And there it is. 1 MAC-10 and 1 AK-47 comes through. I don't think G2 already purchased anything into this round. Maybe some upgraded pistols. Just 1. 1 B250 for Apex. That's it. Almost guaranteed round for Na'Vi here as winter number 6. 3-2 overall.
To overall and Simple in the hut. Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
My favorite Star Wars character.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Jar Jar Binks up there as well. I didn't mind Rogue One, by the way.
I didn't see it. Not a big Star Wars fan.
Oh, really? I thought you were.
No.
Oh, see, I don't know everything about you. There's still room for us to flourish.
Well, see, seems to be coming to life with the opening kills. Does take down 1. Up against a full eco, but that's a chance for him to build up his confidence. He did have a pretty shocking map to open things up. If you're just joining us, it was Na'Vi versus G2 on Overpass. 11-4 first half for them, then lost it in overtime. Pretty gutting defeat there as well, but it's good news for G2. At the bottom of the Pro League right now, he did pick up a map victory, but in overtime he's only get 2 points. Shoxy, what's he going towards CD spawn for? I'm going to follow his track. So he's got a P2000 all the way at CT spawn. He's got nothing to save. He's just hoping one of them comes hunting and gets overzealous.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the play is. Extended timeout talk. They're not making supper like Astralis did. MBK gets very confused as to why bullets ricocheted behind him, but it was due to the sparks through the wall. Jumped back on the railing and then got taken down by Seized as a result. It's all to play for still as Shox stays in spawn. And he is gambling, as you say, that he will get a kill there.
Well, it kind of makes sense. If one player does go hunting in that area, if he does take it down,
for sure,
then he can save it, right? With no one else to check that area. So a little bit of a boring round finish for Shoxy there. Hoping he gets something. He gets nothing. It's fine, though. You can stay alive on the CT side when you lose. Not a problem. 3-3, though. We're all tied up, and a pause comes in. This might be for G2 once again. The money's not amazing. So to decide where as well of getting Kenny an AWP, potentially. Body's got 5,500. Kenny S with 5k. So he could buy one himself, but it's not actually a huge deal, I'd say, on Nuke not having the armor. Like, if you're going for outside duels, like you're getting one pick, like on catwalk or outside, then you're just falling back. You can even play towards CT spawn and just pick them off one by one if they do play in front of their smokes. And it's G2 that called his tactical timeout, of course. Na'Vi with 3 rounds in a row now. Let's seem to think that G2 were the heavy favourites going into this one.
Yeah, I don't know. On Nuke, they were one of the first teams to really embrace it. That tournament you talked about, all the way back at Starladder last year, their smoke play was brilliant that we used to see from them. They were very good at utilizing the skylights, which you know I'm a fan of. But online, these two teams just continue to be underwhelming. Kenny's going to go fast. He's got the op. He's going to go to the corner of Cat. If anyone goes outside, it's not an orthodox position to watch. And Seized could be found if he even walks around the corner behind the boxes to beat Big Garage. He's waiting wishfully that someone's going to push up toward red. It's not common. Not as common as it used to be in the first, or the older, I shouldn't say first, but the older iteration of Nuke. How many iterations do we have? There was like 5 different positions for Secret originally. It used to be on the backside of
that was
Big Garage.
Back steps, it was called originally.
Yeah.
No, it was just a source clone, the original version of this.
Right.
And they started to change it. I think the addition of Secret was good. His backsteps was never really used ever. It was so difficult to get there. Either way, Flamio's opened things up with a nice AK-47 headshot. Smokes deployed. Default working out quite nicely for them. You want to be throwing those smokes every single time. But Shoxy, they haven't checked the garage. And now he's biding his time. He knows if he waits a little bit longer, he can potentially find a couple of frags here. Gets one and does damage to the second. Finds the third. Very good stuff from Shoxy there. So much patience, so much experience, knowing what he had to do there. Demand disadvantage. He's not being looked at. Most players, or some players, would just take that kill straight away and then try and get the spray down, but he's just waiting until they fully commit to the upper bomb site. This time's the perfection as well. I'll go at 2.5 kills, getting the dink on the second as well. This is so perfect. Just waits to the perfect time. Just before he loses track of that player, might go off to the right, take him down, and they're all lined up for him at the main entrance. Very, very well done.
Well, we sit 4-3. G2. Money made, money spent, but Na'Vi, having won their 3 in a row, staying efficient in doing so, have good money on Zeus. Same with Simple. The rest are within reason, so they'll be able to work together to buy. We'll wait for the timeout to expire. There's the music again. I like the music.
Builds the tension, adds dread. As we have another gun round coming in. It's Simple with the AWP. Haven't really seen Kenny S kick off on this map as of yet. He has had the AWP once, but got shut down with his close range antics. That's obviously the one thing that can go wrong with it. If you bring out the AWP and you're going in towards the hut or the squeaky door, lose that once, can rattle your confidence. You need one of those real barn burner games to get into it. But it's going to be an outside focus now from the G2 side. We've got Shoxy right up there. And Apex, I haven't seen this position ever used in pro play. We'll see if it works out for Apex. Obviously very vulnerable to all the flashbangs, but I think the fact he's got here so quickly that it could actually work out for him. The fact he's got the AK as well, that helps out. I thought this position would be so prevalent when I first saw it.
It's true, especially with the AC there. I'm surprised not to have seen it more. Remember, you used to be able to boost on that ledge in the older iteration, but it wasn't as good because there was no cover.
Yeah, that's right. I've not seen it once in pro play.
That's sick. This is going to catch them off, surely. Come on. It's got to. That smoke is really annoying, though, that it bloomed just far enough, and he may have missed his chance, but he's still, if they walk up, he gets sprayed into it. Does. He's going to be wondering where that shot came from. All 3 are going to contest outside. They could reuse this position now that it's not been seen either. Simple. Well, either way, it's G2 that wins out the round.
Actually quite a impressive little setup there. I like that a lot. You can see one player main entrance, one at T main red box, and then that little boost above the garage entrance as well. I'm so surprised. Like, that looks like a really good AWP spot as well. The problem is you've obviously got to have backup there as well, because you've got one player's got to focus towards the silo position, then you've got those 2 players close range as well. So that makes sense. That's a nice outside stack, I think. And you're right, I don't think they saw that actually. So maybe a chance to bring that back in one more time before the half ends.
Yeah, because the kill he got was through the smoke, so they wouldn't know where exactly that came from. They would have assumed that he just sprayed in from maybe back outside a big garage, or it's Secret. But we go back underway with guns for G2 and one SMG Shoxy out front with the MP9.
Again.
He's thinking about it. He really wants the MP. Oh, I thought he looked when he looked away. He's hoping there's going to be more.
Yeah, there's not, though. Obviously, he doesn't know that. And there it is. Zeus sees his nemesis before he goes down. Looks him in the eye. Before, you know it, it's all over. We have got one player in the vent somehow. So that opening kill from Zeus, something to work with here. Flame with another magnificent shot with the Desert Eagle. This could actually be really troublesome for the CT side. This is almost guaranteed kill as well. There it is. Shoxy goes down.
Shoxy goes down. Body goes into the ramp, and finds a great shot on Edward immediately. Speaking of vents, they are blown out by a pistol. And Apex is on the cross beam and ready to go. 1-2, bomb dropped and finds it. Ooh, he knew the third was there. Couldn't find it, low HP. Gets it to a one-on-one. Flamey going to try and plant. Body going to try and sneak in. And Flamey picks up the MP9 that Chuck started the round with and gets a headshot. Thank you very much. Go away. I want the round, you don't.
5-4, and that was an eco from Na'Vi with the Deagles. It was Zeus to open things up and make things a little bit troublesome, but there it is. It was Body who couldn't win out the 1v1. Apex there. Low HP as well. I thought he'd done enough. The 2 kills looked perfect, denied the plant as well. Body gets outplayed by the MP9, and Flamey will be the hero of the round. 5-4, and the AWP comes out once more. Kenny S back on the AWP himself. I want to see this battle continue. He doesn't look towards outside right now, looking for any vent dives. He might just pull the trigger. Doesn't decide to just yet. And Simple looks for any catwalk play. Same smokes deployed outside to get control of Secret.
McCain Shocks. Kenny gets a kill on the AWP. Shocks sitting well back behind the red box. MBK forward, so they've got a good position outside again. Navi's really struggling to get any information or control outside, which is something that's almost a default these days for a lot of teams. So I like G2's stance. Still Na'Vi finds rounds, as they did in the last, to make it closer than I would have expected considering these setups. Oof, Simple's considering it.
Is he really, though?
He considered it. I don't think he's got the information, but he's certainly staring down the position towards CT. Problem is, in doing so, did he give... I don't think he spotted Kenny. So Kenny is ready for him. Oh, that's so tantalizingly close. Good response. Simple down. And they were absolutely chasing Shocks.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. Shocks is still in CT spawn. He's got the FAMAS, and the hard work's been done. Well, I guess even more so now. Kenny S with his 3rd kill in the round. I did say he can get lively on Nuke. Can be one of his better maps. Very unique play style. Finally shut down there by Flamey and Shoxy all the way in CT spawn. Waiting for them to finally commit, but they are getting shots towards the upper bomb side. There he is. Finally comes out of his little hole in CT spawn, and it will be Flamey now. With 10 seconds remaining, can't win this round. Just cause some more financial damage, but not even that will happen. 6-4. Looks like we've got a competitive game on our hands here. After G2 winning the pistol, they did give out 3 gun rounds and get reset as well. So money's not amazing, but they do keep a decent number of players alive. That is 3 in total. Na'Vi seem to be focusing heavily on the outside player. The same smokes, that's great. Consistently throwing the 2 smokes outside and the 1 to cross over. Then you have the option to utilize it, go together as a team if you want to towards Secret. They seem to be playing in front of their own smoke, so they're happy to duel in front of them and try and find Kenny S. Obviously didn't work out for them in that round, as he picks up 3 kills in total, with Shoxy baiting him in tremendously in CT spawn.
Good shot back, Apex. Doubling up,
be a quick
Kenny.
one.
Very quick one. I'm sure there's no complaints about that. Body pushing through, and down goes Seized, including the bomb. Edward. Whiteout P250, still one of my favorite guns in the game.
I've got it.
Do you?
I've got a factory new whiteout P250.
You gonna give it to me?
It is worth like $200, and no, probably not.
Oh, you're such a... That's fine, I don't really get to use it anyway. Simple still owes me a knife.
James Bardov's got one, right? And he called it Henry G because I'm so pale.
I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
You should call the default Glock James Bardov.
Bloody hell. The default Glock, it's green, and to be fair now. But a little bit.
You raise a good point. Maybe I picked the wrong gun.
Yeah, but I like the sentiment.
Just call your default P250 then. Yeah.
Okay. Well, here we go. 7-4. And a first shot for Edward. That's not bad. They're going to pounce on the upper bomb side of the looks of things as well. Surely G2 can't do anything about this, but Apex does hold strong somewhat. Kenny S coming in the FAMAS as well. Seems to be doing very well with that weapon. They'll drop down towards the with the bomb. And MBK can't deny anything. They'll be able to plan as well. Simple knows it's an open bomb site. They just absolutely pounce on the upper bomb site. And now, in terms of kits, we do have them available. Double AKs for the G2 side as well. 1 player in the vents, but Simple, he's ready to fight. Or is he? MBK takes him down from ramp. Oh, Zeus. This could be tremendous. Where's the bomb down? I think it's behind the silo.
Just behind, I think.
Yeah, it is. They can fully defuse as soon as they work out where he is. Jump on it.
As soon as they forget where he is, that's the hard part, because he's actually gone in right side spotted. First player missed the shot, so good headshot at the end. It's one too many bullets it takes, because Kenny gets in position for the trade immediately. And just like that, it's a round for G2. 8-4, they're starting to run up the rounds, as perhaps I expected them to do a little bit sooner.
Oh, G2. Seemed like such An appropriate response from Na'Vi after going so slow towards that outside area. This time, needing to overwhelm that upper bomb site, but Kenny S with the trades, with the FAMAS keeping everything alive at that point as well. Zeus left in that 2 versus 1, just a horrible position to have no time to actually toy with them and have the open plant. I think Simple, considering he knew the site was open with all those trades, maybe he's just a little bit scared that someone could be coming from ramp. Plant behind the silo is pretty much unwinnable there. Zeus gave it a good effort. In terms of the buy, Simple going all in with the AK-47. We've seen this before, but Edwards AFK in spawn. All right, I'll keep my eye on that. He's back. What's he up to?
Oh, having a good time. Simple, meanwhile, out toward lobby. I don't know what the plan is right now. He's the one with the AK, and they're just kind of hanging out.
I guess some basic RAM control. Simple will definitely find this opening kill. He'll be pre-firing it almost certainly. There it is.
Zeus has gotten to red. And he's just going to run by... Okay, Kenny's down below. Excuse me. So overlay threw me off. I was going to say, Kenny's in big garage, not really watching that. He was down below. Because I was going to say, if they take ramp control like it looks like they're going to do, and he gets to secret stairs, they can actually pinch with good speed with the pistols, but Kenny was certainly ready for it.
Yeah, they go towards lower now. They've got no smokes or anything to really get on the site. Apex is going to have a bit of a shooting gallery now. Can't find the aim though. C's actually outduels him with a CZ. Nice work. They might be able to get a plan out of that. Got a plan behind the silo, hoping for the best. And Kenny S can't find the flick. It's that AK-47 that could become a nuisance here, but it looks like the round has been shut down. No plant comes in. Simple with 10 seconds as well. Does he die at this point? Lost bonus is at 4th stage. He's got 1,700. Might as well save the AK, actually. All things considered, he can actually buy up nades. And he just wants to make sure he doesn't die after the timer. That would be the nightmare here.
Yeah, absolutely. Simple. Good find. Needs to switch to the pistol. Oh, wow. That was close.
Well,
but he's alive, Henry.
He's alive with armor as well.
You can tell the tale. One day sitting by the fire with his grandkids. If he lives that long.
Double AWP setup on the CT side of Nuke. I am not a fan of that, but from what I've seen from Na'Vi, they've only really rushed upper once, and the set pieces haven't really been towards the upper site or towards ramp. They've been focusing on outside with the slow play or pushing through the smoke, so maybe this does make sense. So Shoxy maybe go towards ramp at the start and lock it down by himself with maybe that aforementioned AWP, and Kenny plays towards outside, or Kenny gets towards secret steps, and Shoxy holds towards the ramp, or upper, something like that. We'll see what happens here. Trying to change things up in the closing sectors here of the first half. It's 9-4 in favour of the French side, G2. Interested to see where Shoxy does go. That's what I'll be watching. He's going towards outside for now. Maybe playing for main entrance, looking at Squeaky. Yeah, indeed.
Straight in with the AWP in the same
Get the door open.
Yeah, Apex. Thank you very much. After you, sir.
No, after you.
Shit before the shovel. Shocks waiting. They're just blowing out skylights at this point. Now the question is, Squeaky's already open, and they know they're blowing out skylights.
Here we go.
So they get exactly this. They know they're blowing out the skylights late, and the door's open already. They might as well push through because they're going to rush afterwards. So good play by Body, and smart to back off after they find the opening kill.
Yeah, so that completely shuts down whatever they had in mind. Through the grenades, the flashbangs. They still have a couple of Molotovs to work with here, but that is very good. No one watching the lobby. That is a key in these sort of strategies. Like in defaults, when you're going towards outside as well, and set pieces, someone has to be in the lobby watching for those flanks. Even if it's just at the entrance, just holding the tight corner, just to make sure it's not a possibility. You lost Zeus, your in-game leader, you've wasted the grenades, and it's clear you haven't got any outside control whatsoever. So this is looking like a guaranteed G2 round, unless Flamey can get something done from the squeaky door. Apex waiting by the CT vent. 30 seconds though, very unlikely. Very disappointing round there from Na'Vi. Just an oversight in terms of not looking in lobby. It's obviously, you normally be finding like practice and stuff. Like it's rare for someone to push lobby like that, but you just got to have someone in there just in case.
Well,
good effort.
Flamey's gotten back in with an AK. He's got a third. Good effort. He's got a double op setup to go against him. He may only have 12 HP, but if they miss shots on the op and he gets the jump on them, that should be the end of it, though.
Yeah,
that's one way to do it.
Yeah, but they save the double orbs, and the money should be fine. It's round number 15 next anyway. They've got 5k in reserve on MBK, and saving 2 guns. Yeah, they're okay. They can still buy. 10-4. Bomb planted, though, for Na'Vi with the maximum loss bonus. They dispelled it 3 rounds in a row, with the default working out very well for them. They broke the money of G2. Simple probably goes on the AK this round. Triple orb setup, Matt.
Yeah. Why would you do that, Hank?
Never seen this on Nuke. It's very rare to bring out a double orb setup. Triple orb setup is probably just like, you know what? Let's give them 5. Like, I don't think we've given them enough chance here.
Will they live to regret it? That's the question we all want to know. 11-4 is our score in the last game, by the way. In case you were wondering. In case you're following along at home. Which you should be, if you're not.
Seized up. Just ran outside with 1 smoke deployed, nothing else. It's got taken down like in a...
Early picks are going to help the ops. There's only 1 M4 left. That M4 is Body, and he's certainly making good work of it. Simple goes in, finds a kill back on Body. Now it's just 3 AWPs, excuse me, against Simple. Exactly that, but Kenny's had enough of that. 11-4 is where we end.
That was actually looking pretty competitive at one point, but still, we do have 11-4 scoreline map.
We do, and we've got something special for you. There's a laser light show we put together over the course of the half. Nuke, and we sit 11-4. G2 did so on the CT side. They're going to swap over and try and replicate such success in quick fashion on their terrorist approach, and therefore will be immediately into a situation where which G2 will take 5 points on the night. Otherwise, Na'Vi makes a comeback, and we get another overtime, or they just straight up take the win and they get 4 points on the night.
5 points sounds okay, right? Like,
that's decent, considering.
Yeah, all things considered, with the start they've had in the league, 5 points would be very beneficial right now. 2, not so much. 11-4 at the half, and G2 have been very proficient with the pistols tonight. If they win the pistol round, they're pretty much on the home straight. Na'Vi do it, though. It's a CT side of Nuke. No reason why they can't do the exact same thing. We'll be starting momentarily. Matt, I was super hyped after the laser show. That was quite good. I love that you put that together for us.
Thank you. I worked all year on that.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, I can recognize your work.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Glad someone recognizes my genius around here. Starting to think I was doing it for free. But I'm not. Alas, I am not. We wait to get underway. Seems as though Body is taking a bathroom break to relieve his body. My body's never relieved. Kind of angry sometimes, in fact.
Yeah.
When I drink too much coffee, which I'm doing right now. But we get ready to roll. Coming up next, one of the big ones for the week, Astralis versus FaZe. It'll be a lot of fun.
That is going to be a good one. That's definitely up there for hot match of the week. But 11-4 comes through, and 4 sets of armor for the G2 side. Smoke, HE grenade, and flashbang for Apex. Utility play, and no defuse kit for Na'Vi. Will that come back and hold them? I'm not so sure. Upper rush comes in, and what a shot from MBK. Might not be enough though as the crossfires come through, but it's completely shut down. G2 in the 3-on-2 situation.
Flamey climbs the ladder. He's got his pistol at the ready. Bomb is being planted in front of him, and baby sat by Kenny, who's gone now. If he'd gone sooner, maybe Flamey could have denied the plant. Simple's going to try and climb up and join in, and they'll fire down on the mere mortals below. Body says he's had enough of that. He is more than immortal, and his relieved body from bathroom breaks have certainly paid off.
12-4. Not really much happened there for Na'Vi. They'll be forced buying in the second. Pretty much last chance saloon now. Lose this 13-4 down, and a full eco to follow things up. And then a limited buy after that. Everyone's fully invested. Deagle CZs and 5 Mac 10s for G2.
Mac Daddy.
Okay, it's something.
Macaroni. Mac and cheese.
Rushing ramp. Working out so far.
McDonald's?
Oh, God.
Simple with a deagle says, I don't care what Mac you are. I'm going to Mac on you like I'd like Mac on a lady. And wax them. I don't know how that works. Apex does, but at least recover to pull it back. It's a 2-on-2. Simple shuts everyone down on entrance. Makes things very awkward as Apex intentionally puts a hole in the door so he can try and hold his corner. Chalks and Apex. Or do they try and pull back in this round? Both still with pistols on the Na'Vi side, but both with armor, meaning the Mac 10 at range doesn't have the penetration power they might hope for. And they slow it down because they know things have gone rather awkwardly for them. Not at all to plan.
Still a chance to win this round. Simple with 3 kills at the Deagle. Of course it's him. Always will be a nuisance. As the bomb gets planted, Edward, does he dare push through? Oh, he's thinking about it. He's going to actually time this to perfection as well. There it is.
Wow.
1 versus 1 now. And no shocks, he can't find the kill just yet. He gets taken down, and there it is. Simple manages to get 3 kills at the Desert Eagle. And I really don't know why G2 do this sometimes. 5 Mac 10s on Nuke. But still, you can't really do much about this.
You certainly can't.
But you can buy AKs and eradicate risks. They'll be forced buying themselves. AKs, CZs, and a chance to bounce back here. It's body with the AK-47, 4 CZ 75s, and they'll go fast towards the outer area. Maybe boosting up body, using the smoke for now. We're trying to find the opening pin. No, there's no warp up against him, potentially Mac 10s as well. We'll try and see what he can do here. But sees he'll have information they've gone towards lower, but just looking for the catwalk play.
Body goes in, but doesn't look correctly toward the stairwell where Simple is, but he realizes there's more than just one. Gets away, opens door, shuts it, goes to the orange corner. He can control the angle so long as his top side's covered off. Flamey, Edward, both step in, and now actually, Simple's got confidence to try and wrap back around behind them toward control room, and Apex has no idea that that was a possibility. Goes down Simple, not only by staying alive and staying efficient, finds a second kill in the round. It shocks at a 1 versus 4, and Flamey closes it out. Na'Vi looking good, I have to say, on the CT side, which bodes well for a comeback and extending this series, giving them a chance to get points back.
Yeah, they're back into this now. G2 with a bit of a blunder in terms of their economic decision there in the second round. The 5 Mac 10s, it's not really a thing. And they'll be punished for it. Force by taken down as well, 12-6. A chance for Na'Vi on the CT side now to really get back into this game. Flamey pushing towards round, not going into a full commitment, but at least looking for an opening kill. There will be a player waiting for him on the other side. That's going to be Body, and he's surely going to be dead. But sees stepping things up, takes down Shoxy, and there it is. The push up the lobby does find some good results for Na'Vi.
MBK immediately down below to plant behind the silo, or is he? Fakes it out. Oh, but that's a reload. It was the right idea, wrong execution of it. And a kill again for Na'Vi that makes us now 7 rounds to 12. They're certainly in with a shout.
Not too bad, holding off the full eco there. But it's where things really start to matter. Round number 5, it's going to be one of the first gun rounds, considering all the force by antics we had earlier on. 3-1 now. 3 rounds in a row for Na'Vi. A couple of AKs here. They're using this boost up towards heaven. I kind of like it. It means you can get up to this area a little bit quicker. Simple. A bit of a fumble, but still has the orb out towards the side of a catwalk area. They're looking to go towards ramp, though, GT. Smoked out for now. The shallow smoke, though, actually hit the flame, so that could actually work out a little bit. They fall back.
Meanwhile, gets to the corner, red box. AK, seized beside him, seized. Very quickly going to kill him, but he's not ready for the rest. Has Kenny and Apex immediately on the case. Kenny gets the kill wrapping around. Flamey knows, therefore, they are outside, so positions accordingly. Keep a mindful eye on Simple with an AWP at ramp, because even if they wanted to go back, he can funnel. The question is, when does he swing to lower when they get towards secret? They aren't looking to try and take that thus far. So Simple thinks, okay, I thought if he went back to the outside position, he may catch them off toward Big Garage, but now he'll go down. Slow play from G2. They want to try and take full use of the outside control they've been given. Zeus, meanwhile, shot on the body. This is going to be almost perfect from Simple. Oh, there it is. It hits them in the leg. They know the op is therefore pursuing from behind, but Zeus inside of main will shut down both, and then Simple walks in with the op, so he does go for the rotation in the end, and he makes it work. And we find ourselves at 12-8. Hank, it's happening again.
It is. It looks like Na'Vi can actually win this game now after another 11-4 start. It's an interesting decision for G2, one I'm sure they won't ever make again. The 5 MAC-10s, they're on to another eco here. Na'Vi looking much better. Simple coming to life for that AWP. He's going to be a nuisance there. Once again, Matt, 21 kills, 14 deaths. Like, how is he consistently finding himself at the top of the scoreboard? You think, like, okay, maybe 75% of the time I'd accept it. Like, okay, cool. He's obviously a star player, but every single map he's, like, above and beyond his teammates. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, well, above and beyond. Simple, again, takes down body. It's something we've known about Simple for a long time, that he possesses this ability to outscale his teammates. He did it time and time again. In flip side, he did it as well, as Edward gets a kill. The guns and the pistols won't do much. He did it time and time again on Liquid, but the problem is, you start to wonder, much like, okay, Nico and Mouse Sports, maybe a different scenario, but look at Mouse Sports, the success they've had without Nico, not to call out his skill level, but maybe there's something in it, that they have to have so much freedom to play, it limits the others. I'm not sure.
Closing the gap. All about for Kenny S this time. Still with the lead. A couple of rounds would break the economy and presumably close out the game, but they're not really looking that lively right now on the T side. Going towards outside here, the fast smokes from T-spawn deploy. They'll boost Kenny S up. Trying to find the opening pick. This time it works out tremendously for them. Zeus core crossing towards CT Red. It's up to Seize now. Very quiet evening in the office for him. Simple rotates back to the secret step, so that's going to be something decent to work with here. Molotov down, and Simple misses out on the chance. Pulls the trigger, gives the position away, and MBK won't be facing that angle again. Oh, send him packing. 5-4 now, in favour of the G2 side.
Favor of the G2 side, but seized. He's pulled that back for a moment, not ready for multiple again. Seized is always good for one, but never the multiples in those situations. He's always traded out immediately. Can he get Simple down? It's G2 stabilizing finally to potentially get a second round on the T side. Their first since the pistol. Remember, they were ecoed immediately after, as Edward sits in a 1 versus 4 with the AK at the ready. Not sure he's really ready for the situation as it is, though, in a 1 versus 4. Good glance at the scoreline. Zeus this time on the bottom with 9. He's the only one still in the single-digit bracket.
Body closes things out. 13-9. Good job by G2 there. Fast play towards outside. The smokes deployed. It was Zeus trying to get up close and personal, but taken down by the AWP of Kenny S. And at that point, the round started to unfold. So many AWP shots coming in from Kenny S, taking them down one by one. Oh my god, I didn't notice that. That was kind of funny. Right by each other. And managing to take him down in the end was Body. Nice reaction shot. The 180 comes through. 13-9. It's going to be a tactical timeout for G2, knowing that reset potential is there now after losing 5 rounds in a row. Since winning the pistol, trying to close this one out. What's the most effective way to do so?
Well, they've got to try and figure it out fast because that's only their second round this half, their first gun round, and as you said, the reset potential is certainly in effect. 4 players staying alive will buy them at least some extra time. But the reset, I still have to mention it in terms of economy, does exist. Simple. Very fast. Oh, nearly failed it. Toward the catwalk. It slows them for a second, but even still, they've already got Zeus wrapped around toward Annex. And Apex behind the door. If the Molotov had done further damage, we could have a door missing, but it's still there and still in play. His body gets smoked off toward the ramp as well. He has Flamey getting very aggressive, and he's going to find Flamey as well. That's a good start for G2 if they want to find a second gun round. Which I'm sure they would love to do, as Seized is going to try and follow this up. Surely not. He has to get this kill. If he gets caught out in same fashion, same variety, it's a big problem. Oh, Body. He nearly got stuck against the wall. The timing of the stop from Seized, but it's a headshot. Body with 2, and 2 pushes from Na'Vi down.
Tried the best, open things up. The reaction kill from the ramp from as well. Tried to come through, but Body on top of it. 2 kills for him. Should be the round here, but Simple still alive. And he holds towards outside, hoping they found himself into that area. Goes down towards the main entrance now, but they've gone towards the ramp. That's still fine for Simple. He can get towards the vent and shut them down. They're looking pretty good for now, G2. They've got smokes, Molotovs as well. Needs to negate this factor, though. Here he comes. He'll probably hit the first shot. Hands down. Oh, gets it, but dropped by Body. Good reaction, but Zeus now still on the lower bomb site. He'll be traded out here. And it will be a 3 versus 1 up to Edward to try and clutch this one out.
Shocks plants. Edward to clutch it out, or G2 go 14-2 in a row and leave money. It'll be fine. On the Na'Vi side, it'll be close, but it'll be fine. As Edward gets down, looks the wrong way. Apex is ready on his left side, and therefore gets the required round 14. Looking for overtime point pressure to come off them if they find it, and I think money gone at this point as well. It'll be a 3rd round loss bonus. Yeah, it'll be done. It'll be certainly done. On the CT side, they'll be in pistol position, but not full buy position. By pistol, I mean force, of course.
Yeah. Well, here we go then. GT looking for the 2-0 here on Nuke. Simple tries to boost once again. Hasn't really found much luck with it. There is one player crossing over very quickly indeed, but there it is. What a lovely shot that was. Reaction comes in, got a very high sensitivity. Simple manages to lock it on to Apex and find the opening kill. 5-on-4. Kenny is still alive here. And MBK on the silo as well. I'll slow things right down now as Simple changes his position over towards the garage.
That's not going to work. Doesn't. No. No. Me first. Me. No. Everyone's trying to block him now. That's pretty good. Not as good as the dinner party from Astralis, but still nice to see some personality. So set piece. G2 potentially.
Gonna have much to work with now in the 5-on-3.
Yeah, certainly not. As they went to the roof to try and deploy smokes, they just have to sit back and lobby. Shocks is still waiting as well. Perhaps they can reliant on this AWP that Kenny has if he can find a pick to open it up. No need for Na'Vi to give an inch. Give anything away, in fact. Not sure the point of dropping a nade in at that position is, but okay. Interesting. Line up corner, back offside, and this is going to cover off main entrance.
Yeah, pretty cool.
It's not bad. Question is, how do you utilize it? Flashes now go in. Kenny's supporting 2 players with utility. Body only gets 1 kill. Not going to be good enough. If they had the 2 others, maybe there's something in that execution, but with 2 down already, it's a bit tough.
14-10. Really work out for GT there at all. It was Simple that shut down the fast approach from Apex. managing to get towards T-Red, but that fast boost Na'Vi are using to get on the catwalk nice and quickly, that is actually very effective. It saves you about 5-6 seconds, and you can see him surprising Apex as he crossed over. The smokes were deployed, but hadn't quite bloomed. 14-10. Money's still okay for the GT side. They bring out the AWP once more. 23 kills, still top of the scoreboard, Kenny S. NBK, very quiet game on Overpass as well, now 10 for 15. Coming to the end of the second map. GT won the first in overtime, got 2 points there, looking for 5. 3 for a win in regulation.
Kenny goes to the roof again, this time immediately. Smoke out towards Secret. The first of many in the wall.
That's the fake with the smokes. They go towards Ram, no one outside whatsoever, and Zeus, he's not buying it. Takes Joxy down to kick things off. So they deploy the smokes, but Simple watching the secret area with the AWP for anyone to cross, but that won't be a factor at all. He can actually push a little bit further and get that information.
Hang on though, because Apex has still walked in. He got the entrance he was looking for. He saw the smoke deployed, found Zeus, and gets down the vents. Simple's going to head back that direction, knowing it's a very stern possibility. He has that position to work with. If he opens that decontamination door, it's certainly going to make it obvious for Simple. He's close enough that he would have heard that. Can hear that from above, too, as Flamey finds 2. Finally, Body gets him down. That'll open up ramp. Swing, pinch, play. Apex to hold. Body to clear. They have to get the bomb down below to get the plant. And Simple is looming large toward the control room, but does he have any control of the situation at all on an AWP, trying to cover off such close positions down below as the AK goes through, but Simple still turns to find the kill.
Apex could have even watched him for 5 more seconds, but went for the full spray, got punished for it, and now the bomb will be planted, but Body certainly dead. Doesn't even get the bomb down there. Great round from Simple once again. 2 kills to finish things off. Surprised Apex didn't get that kill. What's all this then?
Just burning the office. It's coming in to get us. That's where we cast from sometimes, Hank.
Well, 14-11. G2 now still going to be force buying here. It feels like it could be another overtime, so that's very likely. 3 CZs, a couple of AKs here. Smokes, flashbangs. MP9 for Flamey, up against his force buy as well. Smokes deployed this time. They won't be using them again from what I can see. I think Body, well actually, Apex makes his way towards Secret. So they have managed to get 1 player down there at least.
1 at least. Shocks is still waiting up on top of the Twinkie. It's an MP9 for Flamey, and still 14 rounds for G2, so that overtime point has not been found, has not been attained. Apex tries to get in better position. Molotov grenade goes back up. Minor damage onto him is seized. We'll start it off. Gets Shocks down. Body to open the door. A door that is partially damaged, but not gone. And as it goes open, Edward backs into a corner and is found by MBK, who walked out from the hut. So good timed entry. And Body's able to pick up the AK left at the upper site. It's Flamey instead to walk back around, but Kenny, good job as always with a pistol. As he swings quickly. As an AWP player, he's very good with pistols because he's got to get so used to using them secondary, and he's using them as a primary in this round with 2 kills, finding Simple as well. G2 may steal the round back. They've all got armor, and there's kit for seized, but time is not. He's getting closer and closer, but just arriving to heaven now.
Has to make kills happen here. Bomb ticking away, though, and Apex completely takes him down. That will be the round indeed. Match point here. Zeus trying to save the M4. They still have money for potentially the last round going into number 12 here, but a great recovery there. Kenny with 2 kills, and MBK starting to come to life as well with a key frag. And will be Zeus saving the M4 from Secret. And it seemed like Na'Vi had done enough there. They get the opening kills with Flamey trying to do what he could, but wasn't quite enough. 15-11 comes out once again. This could be it. G2 now very close to closing things out. Oh, but Kenny's got Body of a very good spawn here. Could try and drop down the vents. Mix things up a little bit. It's the player normally holding towards ramp he is. Won't be bringing anything special to it just yet. Spamming some shots towards main entrance for anyone running in. It's a bit of a pre-fire. Can get lucky sometimes. That's not luck, that's skill.
Yeah, that's fast. Very, very fast. MBK, he's going to try and be equally as quick to get around outside, but Simple has that covered off too as he falls away. And it's Simple that's still going to watch the red crate. Smoke will deploy. Does he pre? I thought he pre that. I really did think he'd just fire into it with the confidence he's just instilled in himself after finding 2 quick kills in the round. I guess this is the confidence. Instead, he'll try and be a sneaky beaver. Unfortunately. Oh, okay, fair enough. Kenny didn't go. He could have been caught between them, but Kenny, as he backs off, is found in the same fashion. And Simple looks to make this into a 12th round as Flamey trades off Shocks. Had to do so.
Looks like the 12th round will be a reality. Body with utility, a minute to work with here, but 3 CTs to find. He hasn't really got much to work with. Edward and Zeus double teaming in the upper bomb site. And that will be presumably money gone for the GT side. Indeed, I say overtime almost certain now. It feels like it's one of those games where GTs won't be able to crack it. 2 overtimes in a row? Be a
possible, yep. Between the 2 teams that desperately needed maximum points. If they each win an overtime, they basically each win a map, which, yes, that is correct. They both win a map, but, I mean, they both get 3 points. They both would have won a map as if it was regulation. We wouldn't have even needed to play all these extra rounds. But alas, what fun would that be?
AK's CZs, they forced this, by the way. I think they've kept Body with 3K, but this force won't amount to too much. Seized outmaneuvers them and watches him go towards the T steps. He'll get 2 kills, and MBK finally takes him down. Picks up the AK-47 and finds another kill as well. This could be a little bit more interesting than I thought. See those opening frags. I thought that'd be the end of the round very quickly indeed. To play with it, and Simple alive, but with no AWP in hand. He makes his way towards T-spawn. Shocks in the vents, and you can assume that lower side's probably open, but no, Flamey, no, he's in the window room.
Flamey is certainly in the window room, and he will take down with ease Shocks, walking toward that position with wishful and best intentions. But not really much of a plan. Thought he read the fact that Simple would be out there somewhere, but still gets taken down.
Well, that's going to be a force by not really working out for them. Body can drop an AWP into the next round, but this is going to come down to round number 30 again. G2 can't close it out. Na'Vi showing that they can be a force to be reckoned with on Nuke. Simple, certainly doing the lion's share of the work. 32 frags, 18 deaths for him. Finally kill after kill with the AWP. Very mobile, very dynamic, and just not missing a beat. As he oversees this time, open things up in the previous as well. As the bomb going down, that should be the round concluded. Body does find something with the P250, but I don't think much else will come of this. The bomb in its awkward position.
He's tapping, can't find it. Bomb down, as you say, should still mean that we go 15-14. And Hank, we are going to get another overtime, I'm sure of it.
Yes, almost certainly. They have got another buy into the next round, but it doesn't feel like they've got what it takes to close this out right now. Currently, with 4 rounds on the board, of course, it's up to MBK, just the PT-50 no armor, sat by the vent. It's hoping that someone gets a little bit impatient and maybe can take them down. Spots Zeus, so could walk in and try and pre-fire him, but Zeus 1 step ahead. Finds the shot. We do go into round number 30 here. AWP is out once more. It's given to Shoxy this time. Okay, it's being passed around, juggled and spawned. Kenny does get it, but just said that didn't really make sense to me. Shoxy having quite a quiet game as well. 16 kills, 20 deaths, but what's the final play? How do they close this one out, if possible? Auto sniper for Flamey, maybe that's the way. We have seen him use it on this map a couple of times, actually, but it always comes out just when you give a round up. Just you're really getting yourself established. That's when people decide to use it. So house towards ramp. It does make a lot of sense. If you get smoked out, can spam it, hold the angle.
Good find from G2, though, as MBK starts it off. Simple, the one to go down. That's big. Flamey, though, as you say, still has the auto sniper. Ooh, I thought C's was just going to walk out in heaven, and that was Would have been costly with Kenny staring it down. Zeus is the money man. Oh my goodness, Kenny. I was going to say if he finds a spray down in this position, he could pull the round back, but suddenly it's opened up. And G2 with a 5-on-3. Flamey, auto sniper in position, gone already. Apex obliterates it.
If you had the M4 there, probably has a chance actually making that kill a reality. That's not the reason they lost the round, but certainly a chance to recover it. 5-on-2, and maybe G2 have done just enough. It comes out to this frag, and Apex pretty much guarantees it. 5 players stay alive. G2 managed to close it out 16-14, avoid overtime once again. And they will take 5 points here. The reason they get 5 is they won the map in overtime on Overpass. And Na'Vi left with just 1 map. They get 1 point for losing in overtime as well. So it's still a disappointing finish for them, but much better, you have to say. The fact they went overtime in the first map, and to be fair, they did have a huge lead there and managed to bring it back to a reasonable scoreline here on the second. It's not all a loss. They actually did look like a competitive side here against G2, who have won championships this year. So have
Na'Vi.
Na'Vi, have they won something this year? Have they? No, they haven't.
They have not. No, it's been since New York.
It's been a long time, actually.
A very long time.
Well, there you go. At least there's some signs of improvement there. It wasn't complete disaster this evening. I actually saw some signs of improvement, especially on their CT side of Overpass, and Simple looked lights out the entire evening. We could talk about it for a long time, but I'm sure there's some other lads on the desk who want to do it right now.
We certainly do, Hank. Thank you so much. We'll be seeing more from Matt and Henry as we venture into our next game. For now, I'm joined by Chad and Yanko, and we're going to be talking through the both impressive and disappointing performances from either side. It does seem like there's been some pits and troughs for both squads coming in towards this series, and I'll turn to the Australian first of all. And I want to ask you, you know, everything on the table. Was it really just still the simple show for Na'Vi, or are we starting to see some improvement?
Well, their smokes work this time.
Their smokes work.
Their smokes work. That's a positive. You know, that's definitely something they can look towards as a little tick that box. All right, guys, we're getting there. No, honestly, they didn't play a terrible brand of Counter-Strike. It was simple going for a lot of players there. And watching that last round, it's like, because he was going for so many picks, because he was trying to be the aggressor and the initiator, it's going to get caught out eventually, and it just is in that last round he gets picked.
Could have been OT.
Yeah, so going for that last pick, it's like, okay, cool, you did so much, but then you put the team in a 4v5 situation.
Kenny shot on
and
Zeus.
lose it. It's quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, you hate to see that because it's like, you know, obviously from playing with Nico, you had those situations where he would win you a lot of rounds because he was such an amazing player, but then when it really was unnecessary, he would still go and try to make a play simply because, you know, he's been doing so well throughout the map, and maybe in a situation where it's, you know, not really needed, you might win the round regardless. So it's very difficult from an in-game leader point of view, or just looking from the outside, right? How do you find that balance? You've won rounds, some rounds simply because of him, but then unnecessarily he might lose you some rounds. So I think that's just something you need to deal with, right? And that's something that's going to happen until you improve as a team, and he doesn't have to go for crazy plays like that for you to win games.
Yeah, for them to even get back to that overtime, it required him actually doing those things.
Sure,
so absolutely. For him, it's hard to criticize him in that last round to say, hey, look, you've overstepped it now. It's like, well, I got us this far, you know, I'm just going to keep doing what I think is going to work. Yeah. It's hard to take your foot off the gas when you're the only one really fragging.
Right, and I mean, I do hate to continue to pull on this thread, but with this map loss for Na'Vi, and then 2 maps, of course, conceding the overtime in the first, I have to once again return to the tweet we saw from Simple last week after another disappointing performance saying, I'm done. Do you think this is just kind of his mindset now, which is, you know, we've hinted at it, but do we think his mindset is exclusively the win hinges on me? Is he stuck in that? Is that where he's going to be now? That's not healthy, right?
I think it is at the moment. You know, I think you can tell from the way he plays, some of the plays he goes for and the moves he makes. It's like, if I don't do this, if I don't get us an advantage and then some, I cannot rely on my teammates to, you know, do their part and win the round. You know, not play as me and get 3 kills, but just do their part. So that's unfortunate to see, and you cannot function like that as a team. You cannot expect to be a top-tier team until you do it together.
The issue is right now is we're looking at this G2 roster, right, and we're going, they're struggling as well versus Na'Vi, who's also struggling. But if G2 come out and we see them play again soon and they're just looking back to like themselves and they're actually in good form, it's like, okay, well, maybe Na'Vi, they just put up a really good fight against the G2 that's firing again now, and that could have been today. Like, it didn't look like it, but, you know, that could be the case. I
don't think that's the case. Even with this 16-14 win, I think it was a much more dominant win for G2 than the score shows, similar to Overpass, right? They had a strong CT side. We didn't really see that much from Na'Vi except in the beginning of it. And then in the second half, they go for 5 MAC-10s. Like, great.
I forgot about that. How did I forget about that?
I know that this is triggered.
Low armor penetration, everything. Yes, you want to like run and gun, but you know, have someone buy a proper rifle, if you have to take long-range duels or something with better armor penetration at least.
There's two mindsets when they do that, right? The mindset is you either buy a couple of rifles and you have a couple of SMGs and you go from there, which means you have to play slower, you have to use your utility, you wait for the CTs to make mistakes, you find information, and then you make the best decision. They've opted for the anti-eco style, which is let's get 5 guns which you can run with, hopefully take territory early and hope they didn't stack here. And they ran into Simple, who got a multi-kill the Deagle. You know, that's the risk you run there. And they took the, I guess it's the easy way out, because if there's no one there and they make their way into the lower bomb site, they swarm everywhere, they get close with the MAC-10s, they can take good fights.
Is that greed?
It's not greed, it's just not wanting to play a slow anti-eco, I guess, and that's the toss-up that they went with there. But there's something they did, Alex, that I really liked. It was outside control. We have a clip of it, I hope. You know, I was talking about this, I think it was last week when we saw a Nuke game, and this is something which we finally see coming out, and this is from G2. You can see one player at the red crate, one towards main entrance or annex, and one on top of the roof there, which is very unorthodox. Normally I'd expect someone on the catwalk. Have you ever seen that before? No, not actually used in competitive play like this. But this is more of what I'm talking about with an outside control strat, right? This is the CTs playing aggressive on yard. They know these smokes are going to come in, and they're not going to even allow them to get secret control, which means this is an all-in. You're either going to win or lose the round when you do plays like this, but you completely stop any decision-making. And if you're a team like G2, who's really good at taking heads-up duels and loves a fight, this is a great way to do it.
It was fantastic, and G2 did take the win. We're going to wrap things up for our first game of the Pro League match day 18. When we do return, though, we're going to be seeing more from Astralis. In fact, they're going to be taking on none other than FaZe. A lot of people thinking this one's going to be equally as hot as what we get to enjoy yesterday. Will FaZe Clan start climbing their way back to the top of the table, or will Astralis be putting another stop to that versus their old leader, Karrigan? We'll find out after the break.